Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
Shout out to all my tea sippers out there. We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready because you already know this tea is what? Piping hot. All right, you guys. So you guys know what that means. We are on to part 2 of the Tekashi 6ix9ine breakdown video, okay? So I'm breaking down everything to you guys. You guys just watched part 1. This is part 2. And there's even more information that's come out today. So there will be a part 3 today as well. Stay tuned. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. So if you guys do not know, it's been a crazy 48 hours, okay? So yesterday, audio leaked online of Tekashi 6ix9ine on the witness stand, basically, you know, telling it all, honey, singing like a damn canary, putting everything out there. At the end of the day, like I said before, he feels, and a lot of people feels like he does not owe these guys any loyalty because these guys were literally trying to kill him. They slept with his baby's mother. It's just been a bunch of craziness. So I think once he realized that, that's when he was like, all bets are off. He's telling it all. So he went onto the witness stand yesterday and he talked about it. He talked about how he was allowed to just, you know, join the gang without a beating or anything like that. He also spoke on Trippie Redd. He spoke about a lot of stuff. And the lawyer, now he's not Tekashi 6ix9ine's lawyer, but the lawyer from LawyersForWork.com, he was also at the trial. So he's been talking about it and giving recaps as well. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys what he had to say. And I'm going to go ahead and play you guys the entire audio of Tekashi 6ix9ine basically on the witness stand telling it all. So y'all go ahead and check this out.
6ix9ine update. Earlier today, 500 Pearl Street Judge Engelmeyer, the Southern District of New York, sentenced Kifano Jordan, a.k.a. Shotty, Tekashi 6ix9ine's former manager and the CEO of Treyway Entertainment, to 15 years on racketeering charges. With good behavior, Shotty will probably get out in closer to 10. Up next is just a couple more defendants who are going to get sentenced, 2 defendants who might go to trial, and then the sentencing of 6ix9ine. By all indications, what we've been seeing, the judge is giving out exactly what the government asked for, and we know what the government is going to ask for in 6ix9ine's case. They're going to ask for time served. Day 2 of the 6ix9ine testimony is underway. He's been testifying today for about 3 hours. They just broke for lunch. He's going to come back and take the stand in about 30 minutes. In total, he's been testifying for nearly 2 days now. All in all, it's probably going to go for a full 3 days of testimony before it's all said and done. Not surprisingly, he makes for a very good witness. He's very smart, he's a good communicator, he's very good with words, and so when it comes to the prosecution asking him questions and getting information out for the jury to understand, that's going very smoothly. When it comes to what he's testifying about, it raises serious questions about his credibility. Certainly, so many of the events that he's testifying about, the robberies, the shootings, are built on and instigated by him and his persona. Starting in LA, there was an incident at the LA airport. That incident he actually described, that wasn't gang related, that wasn't anything like that. Really, they were at the airport, his boys are flirting with some girls, the girls' boyfriends are there, they didn't like it, that's what set that off. They talked about the incident in Houston, Rap-A-Lot Records, and what went on there is 6ix9ine had been invited to come to Jay Prince's birthday party around noon. They don't do that, they don't show up, and several hours go by, they finally show up. The guys at Rap-A-Lot were like, yo, fuck it, you didn't come here at noon, we don't need you here at all, you can get out. Later that night, 6ix9ine is supposed to perform at the World Star stage at South by Southwest. He got like $20K on the front end. He never got his back end because he never performed, because when he got to the venue, Jay Prince, Rap-A-Lot Records, they were all there barricading the stage, really just showing a show of force and intimidating him. He was scared, he never took the stage. They got into some incidents here in New York, one involving Trippie Redd, one involving an artist from Rap-A-Lot who was up in New York doing an interview with ThisIs50.com. And in both of these incidents, what 6ix9ine described was basically him instigating it, saying, hey, we need to go run up on this person, and then, not just instigating it, him recording what was happening, and he was going to publicize it. This dude, I mean, he must have really lost his mind. By this point, he already had 2 platinum records, he was big, he was signed to a major label, and he's out there doing this shit. He described one situation where they rolled up on Trippie Redd's security, and in the Sprinter van where they were sitting with Tekashi taking place, they get back in the car, they're trying to drive away, they're in Times Square, they obviously can't move very far, they start hearing sirens, and the whole car starts panicking and freaking out. According to 6ix9ine, one of the guys throws the gun in 6ix9ine's lap and says, you need to take the gun and get out of the car. So, just in a crazy scene, he gets out of the car, he's got a loaded gun on him, it's in his hoodie, he's in Times Square, and he's just trying to flee and find a way to get home. Very, very reckless behavior, but very detailed testimony implicating himself and others that I think the jury is likely to believe. None of this gets into the kidnapping. The kidnapping testimony is what's coming up next. That's really what's at issue in this trial. All of this stuff is setting the stage, showing that these guys are involved in violence, but none of it really gets to the heart of the issue, which is the kidnapping. All right, court just ended on the second day of 6ix9ine's testimony. He is going to testify for a third day, possibly a fourth. He's been going for 2 days, and the cross-examination hasn't even started yet. Today's testimony covered the kidnapping. Kidnapping is a criminal allegation that is actually on trial. It's not something that somebody has already pled guilty to. So with the kidnapping, the story, as told by Daniel Hernandez on the stand today, is that on that day, he was scheduled to appear at some football player's mansion party. They paid him $40,000 to show up. Eventually the party got canceled because the cops had shut it down, so he didn't go there. Instead, he ends up at a strip club. After the strip club, he's back at his house editing Fifi. Fifi, the music video, was supposed to drop the next day. So around 4 a.m., there's one last bit of editing that he needs help with, and he can't do it on his own. He tries to get his friend Andrew on the phone. Andrew's not picking up, so he tells his driver, let's go to Andrew's place. You know where he lives. As they're rolling out, they pull up at a red light not far from his house, and they get hit from behind. When they get hit from behind, the driver says, stay in the car. I'm going to go take care of this. I'll let these guys go. The driver assumed that it must have been a car accident, a drunk driver. It's 4 or 5 in the morning. As Tekashi describes it, the next thing he sees after a couple minutes of Jorge not coming back is a guy pulling up to the side with a gun out. His driver gets back in his car, and as 6ix9ine is being driven off, his driver follows that car. At one point, a couple blocks later, one of the guys who's allegedly kidnapped 6ix9ine jumps out of the car, has a gun on him, and basically runs at the driver, convincing the driver to turn around and stop following them. They keep going, and they pull over at a stop. They take him out of the car, 6ix9ine, and they basically beat him. And they just, repeatedly beat him and said, renounce your gang membership, and they record all of that on video. We don't have the video. The video has not been produced in evidence, so it'd definitely be something that come up on cross-examination. After that, they stop again, and what 6ix9ine described is they basically started bargaining for his life, that we won't kill you right now if you give us something. What are you going to give me? And 6ix9ine says he first offered $100,000 in cash when the bank opens in a few hours. They said, no, what do you have on you right now? So they agreed that he'd go back to his house, get his jewelry, and he would give it to them. Interestingly, he described how he stored his jewelry. He had like 3 chains, 4 rings, a couple bracelets, a couple watches, all iced out. He would just take it off at the end of the day. His driver would wrap it in bounty paper towels, and they would just put her in a book bag and leave it at his place. Kind of crazy. They resolve that, all right, you give me the jewelry, I'll let you live. They go back, they go to his house, they pick up the jewelry, they drive a couple minutes more, and they eventually let him out of the car. So they say, all right, well, get out. And he says, no, I'm not going to get out. If I get out, y'all are going to shoot me. And they say, well, if you don't get out, we're going to shoot you. So at that point, he gets out. He gets out, starts running, and he testified that the driver said to him, hey, hold up, I want to talk to you. And he just kept running, and he said, hold up, stop running, I want to talk to you. That was the end of the testimony on the kidnapping. From there, he went to he ran, and he actually got in a car. And this part was kind of hilarious. People were giggling in the courtroom. He gets in a car with the guy, and the guy's like, yo, get out of my car, get out of my car. He's like, nah, I'm not getting out. I can't get out. I'm going to die if I get out. You need to just chill out and drive. And so this guy's like, oh, shit, this is kind of crazy. So he starts driving. But he essentially he makes like one right and a left, and 6ix9ine's like, no, don't go that way. And they end up driving directly to where the kidnapper's car had stopped and let him out. And so they're right there, and 6ix9ine's like, yo, I can't believe you made that right. Why you do that? No, just don't make any noise. And they're sitting behind the alleged kidnapper's car. Eventually, the car in front of them goes forward. They pull off, make a left. He gets dropped off at a police precinct. Then he goes to a hospital in Brooklyn. Shadi shows up, helps him out, says, we got to get out of this hospital. There's too many fans over here. And then they go to a hospital in Long Island where he gets some treatment. Crazy story about the kidnapping. Couple key points to remember as cross-examination comes up. None of the other crimes involve these defendants. This crime involving these defendants, this alleged kidnapping, who knows? Who knows what a jury is going to think? He wasn't held down. He wasn't handcuffed. he was sitting in the back seat of the car that the alleged kidnappers had while they were both in the front seat. So and then at the end, he's running away and they're just talking to him like, hey, hold up, stop running. So a lot of stuff that's going to come out and cross.
EANIEL space HERNANDEZ.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. I'll ask you to please keep your voice up and speak slowly and distinctly for the benefit of everybody in this large courtroom. Counsel, you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you.
Mr. Hernandez, how old are you?
23.
Do you go by any other names?
Yes.
What are those names?
Tekashi 6ix9ine, Pix. Yeah.
Mr. Hernandez, where were you born?
Bushwick, Brooklyn.
How far did you go in school?
About the 10th, 11th grade or so, like that.
What? Mr. Hernandez, are you currently in federal custody?
Whoa. Yes, sir.
Approximately when did you start living in federal custody?
About November 18, 2018.
What were you arrested for?
Racketeering charges, violent crimes, shootings, drug distribution.
At some point, did you decide to cooperate with the government?
Yes.
When did that happen?
A day after, November 19th, the day after we was taken down.
In connection with your cooperation, have you pleaded guilty to certain crimes?
Yes.
What crimes did you plead guilty to?
I believe there was 9 counts of racketeering, shootings, and drug distribution.
Now, you listed racketeering as one of the crimes to which you pleaded guilty. Were you a member of any gang?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the gang that you were a member of?
The non-trade bloods, non-trade blood.
Approximately when did you become a member?
Around, I would say November of 2017.
What sorts of things did 9 trade members do?
I'm sorry?
What sorts of things did 9 trade members do?
We participated in a lot of, violent crimes, robberies, assaults, drugs, sorts of that nature.
Mr. Hernandez, do you recognize anyone in the courtroom who was a member of 9 Trey when you were a member?
Yes.
Who do you recognize? And if you can identify that person, could you identify where they're sitting in an article of clothing that that person may be wearing?
Hall, Anthony Ellison has a gray suit on. And Luke Ajumai Mac has the brown suit on with the white thing on his head.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witnesses identified Mr. Mack and Mr. Ellison?
Yes, the record reflects that Mr. Hernandez, in sequence, identified Mr. Ellison and then Mr. Mack.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Hernandez, we'll turn back to 9 Trey in a minute. Before we do, I'd like to ask you some questions about your life before 9 Trey. Where'd you grow up?
I was raised and lived Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Where'd you go to school?
For elementary, I went to PS59. For middle school, I went to Walmart Campos. For elementary, I went to PS59. Middle school, Walmart Campos, and high school, for the time being, went to Legacy High School. Legacy High School.
Did you work?
Yes.
What'd you do?
I started working at I want to say the age of 13. My first job was at the Greenpoint Youth Court. It's a job that handles like misdemeanor cases for youth. where the youth acts in like a bailiff, judge, jury, youth advocate, community advocate type of thing. I did that about for 2 months.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to cut you off. I think you are speaking so close to the mic that you're blurring some of your words. Maybe move back a tiny bit from the mic and keep your voice up and keep speaking slowly. Thank you.
So I did that for about a year. I didn't make a lot of money doing that, so I started working with my brother, busting tables. I did that for about a year and a half. Then I did a job at a grocery store named Stay Fresh and Grill, where I worked as a delivery boy. I did that about for 2 years. I worked up to register. Shortly after that, I landed another busboy job. And then after that, became a rapper.
So you said that you started a music career, is that right?
Yes.
Approximately when did that happen?
I'd say around 2014.
And how did it come about?
Well, at the store I was working in, Stay Fresh and Grill, there was a guy under the name Peter Rogers, always coming there, buy a tea and like a tilapia, some peanuts, stuff like that. He asked me if I made music and if I rapped. And I was like, no. And he was like, well, you know, got the image for it, look cool. I was like, you know, I took it in consideration and we started making music from the deli.
And again, this is around 2014?
Yes, sir. Like late 2014, like September.
So when you started making music in around 2014, what type of music were you making?
It was more of like a rock and roll rap.
Approximately how many records or songs did you release?
8, I believe. I believe around 8.
Did you go on any tours?
Yeah.
Where did you tour?
Eastern Europe. I toured in Bratislava, Slovakia. Prague, Czech Republic. Brno, Czech Republic. St. Petersburg, Russia, and Moscow.
Were you making any money at this time as a metal rap performer?
I mean, for all those shows, I made about like $2,000 profit. I did it just for the experience.
Now, Mr. Hernandez, did there come a time when the type of music that you recorded changed?
Yes.
Approximately when did that happen?
It changed in September of 2017.
Now, directing your attention to September 2017, did there come a time when you filmed a music video in Brooklyn?
Yes, sir.
Where in Brooklyn?
Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, on Madison between Tompkins Avenue and Troop.
Do you remember the address?
I believe, I want to say it's 370 Madison.
370?
370.
Ms. Harney, can we please pull up for the witness what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 202?
This shit right now crazy just now.
Mr. Hernandez, do you see Government Exhibit 202?
Yes,
What is that?
370 Madison.
Is that a photograph of 370 Madison?
Yes, sir.
Does it fairly accurately depict the way 370 Madison looked?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the government offers Government Exhibit 202.
Any objection?
None, Your Honor.
No objection. Received.
May we publish it, Your Honor?
Yes.
So you filmed the music video in front of 370 Madison?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of that song?
Gummo. Gummo. Gummo.
Ms. Harney, we can take down 202.
Fire.
Mr. Hernandez, how did the filming of Gummo come about?
Around August of 2017, I made the song Gummo.
All right, so you guys just heard what the lawyer had to say, and you guys also heard the Tekashi 6ix9ine audio from the witness stand. So that's what hit the internet yesterday. And then later on yesterday evening, what ended up hitting the internet is the fact that Tekashi 6ix9ine's kidnapping video leaked online. So what's crazy about this situation is when he was basically testifying about the kidnapping, he was literally almost in tears. He thought he was going to be killed. He thought he was going to die. So this is one of the articles from the Daily Mail, okay? They're saying that Tekashi 6ix9ine choked up as he described a terrifying kidnapping by one of his former friends in the 9 Trey Bloods that was captured on dramatic dashboard video. The trash-talking rapper turned government witness described his alleged kidnapping, robbery, and beatdown in Brooklyn on July 22nd, 2018 at the hands of Anthony Harv Ellison, and Ellison's friend identified only as Shaw. The kidnapping, Tekashi said, began around 4 a.m. when Ellison rammed a stolen car into a Chevy Tahoe driven by Tekashi's driver, Jorge Rivera, at Atlantic Avenue and Bedford Avenue. He testified. Tekashi, who was in the backseat of the SUV, briefly choked up as he recounted the kidnapping. So during court, he says, "Damn, they caught me slipping. It's over," Tekashi recounted in court. "I'm pleading in my heart, yo, don't shoot." So this whole situation is just really unnerving. It's just really scary, and it just shows how real this shit was. I know a lot of us, myself included, initially thought that he was just trying to, once again, he's looking for social media attention. He's been an attention whore. But we later found out that that kidnapping was definitely real, and it was definitely an attempt on his life. So y'all go ahead and check out this disturbing video. Check this out, and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Run it, nigga. Give me everything, nigga. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car, nigga. Get in the car, nigga.
No, stop. Wait. Chill. Where your man at? Where your man at?
Hold it back.
Give me your money. Where your money at? Where your money at? Get in the car. Get in the car. Alright, get in the car. Get in the car. We're gonna shoot you.
No, you just get in the car. Get in the car.
Open the door.
Let me open it.
I'll give you everything. Get in the car. Get in the car.
Get in it.
That's what I'm doing.
Get the fuck in here. Ain't nobody in here. Ain't nobody in here.
Why are you doing all that, man?
I want to talk to you.
About what? About what? About what? Why you ain't holler at me? What you mean, shawty, man? Give me the bullet.
I try to call you, bro. I put it on anything.
So why I ain't got your number?
Because I asked for your number. They told me to change the number. I put it on anything I love, bro. I put it on my daughter's life, bro.
Bugging on, son.
Harv, you know I gave you
Bugging,
25K.
son.
I always did right by you.
Yeah, but why you do me like that, bro?
Harv, I told you that money, put money in your pocket, bro. I'm scared, bro. I don't know if you feel like you're extortion this.
Where the fuck is everything, eh?
I'm on the car.
Get in the car with us, man. Bye, nigga. Bye. The phone. Give me the phone. Get out of here.
You gonna talk to him. You gonna talk to him.
Get in the car.
Right. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. Wait. I have to make sure everything good, man. We're gonna talk to him. That's it, man.
It's all right, you know.
El sistema OnStar no está activado. Para activar su servicio, presione el botón azul de OnStar ahora o llame al 1-888-4 OnStar.
¿Aló? Hello.
Buen día,
Necesito que llame a la policía. Acaban de secuestrar a mi hermano. Por favor.
Ok, señor, estaré contactando al 911. Nombre.
Rivera Jorge.
Te pongo una breve espera, que estoy por línea, ¿ok? Señor, tengo al operador de 911 en la línea con nosotros.
Gracias.
Gracias. ¿Usted se comunica únicamente en español?
Sí.
Alright, he's on the
They
line
just
with us.
kidnapped 6ix9ine.
Alright.
Tekashi 6ix9ine? They just kidnapped me from my car.
I don't understand. What?
Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know Tekashi 6ix9ine, the rapper? The singer? Yeah, they just kidnapped it. We get pulled over, right, by two guys with guns, and they just take it off from the car.
Take him?
Yes.
Where this happen?
Yes, right here, around the corner. I tried to keep going, but they when I got too close to him to take the play, the guy come on and tried to shoot me, so I back it up and I came this way.
Okay, show me where it happened. Back, turn around. Is that police on the scene? Señor, ya hay policía.
Alright, so you guys just saw that disturbing dash cam video. So like I said, right now social media is a buzz. We're waiting for all the information to come out because he's back in court, and today will be considered day 3. So when I get some more information for day 3, I'll definitely do another podcast. But this just goes to show people that if you're not about that life, stay out those damn streets. Folks were up and down, they would never snitch, they would never fold, and they gonna let they nuts hang, bitch. All of a sudden, them nuts ain't hanging too low now, are they? Until you're facing 40-something years. And if you're not willing to do the time, if you're not willing to stand 10 toes deep, then your ass shouldn't be doing dirt, okay? Tekashi 6ix9ine is not the first person to snitch, nor will he be the last person to snitch. So the entire situation is just really crazy. At the end of the day, he got himself in over his head. Point blank, period. And a lot of these guys did too. They attached themselves to him because he was up and coming, superstar, and they wanted some of that fame. They were extorting him. He lost millions. They fucked his baby mama. They threatened his mom. They threatened to kill him. So at this point, he just has no loyalty to anybody, and he's telling it all. At the end of the day, there's no loyalty in the criminal game. Y'all might be bros 1 minute, but as soon as the police, and especially talking about the feds, when they ride down, people start singing like a canary. Okay, Tekashi's not going to be the first, and he's not going to be the last, like I just stated, but this entire situation is insane, and I hope everybody's taking this as a lesson learned, okay? It is okay to be yourself. It might be boring, to this backwards, upside down world, and this world is social media where the only way we can get attention is doing crazy stuff and crazy antics. This was a young man who was looking to be accepted by people that he shouldn't have been wanting acceptance from. Period, point blank. So anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation concerning 6ix9ine basically testifying and spilling everybody's damn tea, okay? And then the kidnapping video leaking online. How do you guys feel about this entire situation? And do you feel like Tekashi 6ix9ine is wrong to snitch on all these people? Or do you feel like he owes them no loyalty because they had no loyalty to him? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and most of all, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I drop another video. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.